Hello, Rumors, and welcome back to the Knights of the Frozen Throne card review. This is gonna be the second one. I'll have another one. These are gonna be way longer than the other ones, just because it's on the 8th. The stream was way too late yesterday for me to actually start doing card reviews, so I couldn't do that. Back to our soundtrack. Alright, we're gonna be going for StarCraft names. I never heard of them, so might as well. Yeah. Oh, play 10 parts, so this is really easy to do. Well, let's start with all the commons that are left over from the last time. So have Dead Scale Knight, 1 mana, 1/1 Murloc Lifesteal. Just because it's a Murloc, I cannot count this card out. This will probably, if it ever goes to see play, it would only be in a Warlock deck where you tap a lot. That's literally the only way I could see this card ever being played. In late game, it's kind of annoying, but it's still a 1-drop and you don't want to play it on turn 1. There are better cards to play on turn 1. This card you play a little bit later on, where you already play like the Grimscale Oracle. No, the 3-mana Murloc. The Core Lights here, my bad. Where you goes 3 health, only has 3 health, so it's pretty tanky. Then you put like something that buffs his attack, so then you can smack face like a flame tongue, stuff like that, maybe. But I mostly see it in Warlock. Rage Tailor, 1 mana, 1/1, release minions attack, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I mean, could this? I think the stats are way too weak for an aggressive deck. Just a 1 mana, 1/1 that has to attack is very pricey on like being it a card. So just 1 mana, 1/1 can sometimes do nothing, and I mean, a lot of times where it's a 1 mana that deals 3 damage. Okay, but then it gets killed by some garbage and the other minion survives and this doesn't, so you're behind on the board with a card. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's this kind of garbage. Archerus Veteran, 1 mana, 2/1, give a friendly minion +1 attack. Now this is a bit better, it's a 1 mana 2/1. Problem is you can't play it on turn 1, unless you play another card and you coin and you play this. You wanna give something that has like low attack, high health. Give it that. It's a 1 mana 2/1. It's like an abusive sergeant with a permanent buff, which I think is pretty strong. I think this is a pretty strong card in like a more aggressive deck. I do see it replace abusive sergeant in those decks. I think it's a pretty decent card. For arena, probably as well. Tainted Zealot. In arena I don't really like 1-drops. Tainted Zealot, 2 mana, 1/1, Divine Shield, spell damage +1. So this is not an aggressive card, and in a way it is. You wanna play just because it's Divine Shield and spell damage. For a combo, I don't think you need this for a combo, but of course you can. Sorry. You can play it. You can do it like a wave of spells. It's because it has Divine Shield, it could survive for another round where you can do a bit more spells. Then could be interesting to use it that way in more like combo-ish decks. It's still another spell damage minion, which is pretty good. Or you run into like more like a mage style deck where you can play like a Frostball, kill a 4 health minion. You still have the Zealot on the board that's really annoying to deal with. So yeah, I could see this card being played. Seems pretty decent in arena as well. Talk about that one. Tuskar Fisherman, 2 mana 2/3, already really good stat line. But I got give a friendly minion spell damage +1. That's of course really good in arena. And this is an interesting card. Like, what do you put this on? I don't know. I'll put it. So, if you're going to curve, what 1-drop would you put it on? An Argent Squire, Enchanted Raven maybe, Mana Worm. Oh my gosh, so many 1-drops. Northshire Cleric. Flame Imp, Malkazar's Imp, Possessed Villager, Voidwalker. Yeah, so Warlock is pretty good contender for that. And we have the Argent Squire. Fireflies, pretty good targets. Maces of mixtures, maybe even a runic egg just makes it an actual. Yeah, on a runic egg, seems like you have this permanent spell damage, and if they want to get rid of the spell damage, they have to kill it, and you get a card, and they wasted some damage on it. I do think the Tuskar Fisherman is actually a pretty good card. I could see played if you have make like a 1-drop really threatening. Haltnir Frost Rider. Oh, the fuck is that name? 3 mana 4/4. Freeze your other minions. Interesting card. Sorry, as you can see, it's really early in the morning. Then, and I literally woke up at 9:23. So 3 mana 4/4. If you have no other minions in play, it's just a 3 mana 4/4. So it's a really strong arena card. Especially if you've been losing, you just pop a 3 mana 4/4. Has a couple of combos, many of some Shaman cards. You can maybe freeze them, get some value out of it. Maybe if a Morabi could be interesting, but you're gonna waste a lot of damage if you do that. So I think it's just more of a decent card. Maybe one combo here and there. It's just mostly an early card. Fry Ghoul. 3 mana 3/1. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 Ghoul. So it's an aggressive card. You just play this at 3 mana 3/1. If your opponent kills it, it spawns the 2/2. Then it's a pretty good value card. Although it does have 1 health, so it could just get pinged down, but then you still get the 2/2 Ghoul. And if you play this on turn 3 and they hero power and to kill it, maybe they took damage and you still have the Ghoul. So I think overall it's a pretty good card. But it just gets fucked by taunts. All these cards that have this same effect are garbage against taunts. They don't really do much. 3 mana deal 3 damage. I guess it could be okay for a taunt if you're gonna push more damage. Meh, I think it's a pretty decent aggro card. Wicked Skeleton, 4 mana 1/1, gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn. So you have to get the initiative, you have to be the aggressor. This goes into an aggressive deck. So then you have in aggressive deck wants to do a bit of trades, and it actually you can use these skeletons, be a couple cards that gives you skeletons and garbage like that, right? So this can be a pretty. So needs 4 minions to die this game, be a 4 mana 4/5. So you have to get one of your minions to trade into one of theirs, one of yours to trade into one of theirs, and then you get a 4 mana 5/5. That's good, but I don't think it's that valuable. You need even more than that to die. It just has a lot of things have to die for this card to be a 4 mana 6/6, and at that point, play Shaman, play a 4 mana 7/7, use your minions to go face instead of clearing the board. I know, seems. If it was a 2/2, maybe it would be pretty bad. 1/1, meh. Could maybe see some play. Grave Shambler, 4 mana 4/4, Elemental. Awesome, they add a little bit more elementals. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, gain +1/+1. So you play this, you use your last charge of a weapon. It has a 4 mana 5/5. Already is better than Skeleton. It becomes a 4 mana 5/5 instantly, so above average stats. And the Grave Shambler becomes a threat, because if you have another weapon you use to trade, it can get even bigger. And this card is just a really decent card. Maybe in a rogue deck could see some play. Maybe in some all the weapons cards, you could see some play just because you play the weapon, you attack, you play Grave Shambler, you attack again, you kill something else, you have a 4 mana 5/5 on the board. It's a pretty big trade just because you can get buffed again. For +1/+1. Could be interesting. Good card. Grim Necromancer, 4 mana 2/4, summon 2 1/1 skeletons. So already better than the mechanic. This is a card that could go with the Wiki Skeletons because you have the 1/1 skeletons. Have a 4 mana 2/4. It's pretty decent arena card. Unless you can use the skeletons for their tokens for something useful. Have to use the skeletons in some way. This is a standalone card, never played in Constructed. But this is a way to use the skeletons as tokens for fodder, buff something, or buff the skeleton itself, and this card could be pretty good. Night Howler, 4 mana 3/4, whenever this minion takes damage, gain +2 attack. we saw this in play, like you play the enemy berserk and you play the night tower becomes a 4 mana 5/3. That point is just a bit too weak in my opinion. Only arena card. Bloodworm 5 mana 4/4 lifesteal beast. This is interesting for build a beast because you can get a big stats with lifesteal, put it on a taunt, maybe like a stone task force, get a 6 mana 5/5 lifesteal charge, pretty good. Good arena cards, okay, right. I don't, also it's disgusting. I don't know where you would use this. Probably only beast deck, so you can actually buff it so you get a lot of health out of it. Maybe like a more mid-range deck in Hunter, maybe it could be useful, or maybe just generate it. I think a 5 mana for a 4. Fuck am I listening to? I'm a medieval man.
I'm a medieval man.
I'm medieval man. What the fuck is happening? I was not expecting this. Yeah, pretty mediocre card in constructed overall. Venomancer 5 mana 2/5 poisonous. My X-Now was a 6 mana 2/8 poisonous and a beast, so pretty bad card in my opinion. Oh, what is happening? What you want? What the fuck is happening? Skelemancer 5 mana 2/2. If it's your opponent's turn, summon 8/8 skeleton. This is more interesting because this is not an aggressive card, just a 5 mana 2/2 8/8 skeleton. This card is really hard to, because the other ones that are aggressive, yeah, they're pretty good. You just use them to go phase. Even if they kill it and use some resource, still get a 2/2 that they probably you can get another hit in. I can't concentrate. But this one is just you play it, and sometimes you don't want to attack with it. Just let it there, and your opponent doesn't want to attack it either because of fucking 8/8 skeleton. So your opponent will literally never trade it. So you want to give this taunt, so and use it like fodder. Like probably taunt is the best.
Welcome to the world of Warcraft.
Fucking kill me. That's the best thing ever. So yeah, unless you can taunt it, this card is really hard to make use of it. Spellweaver 6 mana 4/4 spell damage +2. Just because it has spell damage +2, it's a really interesting card, but it costs a lot of mana, 6 mana. You can like play this and you do like a double eviscerate, and that's just a 12 burst damage, or double mind blast, that's 14 burst damage. Pretty interesting. So yeah, if you can make use of the spell damage, be pretty good. If you can't, it's just pretty bad stat card. Happy Ghoul 3 mana 30, cost 0 if your hero was healed this turn. It's a pretty good, really interesting card because it works with True Silver Champion to get like double Happy Ghoul. If you get hit by a random idiot on turn 2, you just heal yourself with Priest and you play 2 Happy Ghouls. Then it's like a really good tempo play. This gives Priest some pretty good tempo plays, which is quite interesting. A more mid-range type of Priest deck where like heal yourself, you play 2 Happy Ghouls and you bang your opponent's card. That's a lot of tempo. This card is really good and I like it. In decks that can like randomly heal themselves while doing something useful. Keening Banshee 4 mana 5/5. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. This card is pure garbage. It's like the 3 mana 5/5 that deals 5 damage to you. What did we learn from that card? It does not die in time for it not to be worthless. This card, it is worthless. Again, we've talked a 4 mana 5/5. Philliver was a 5 mana 8/8. And you could still play cards. Your opponent had to play cards. And your opponent had to be like act all cool and play a bunch of cards. If you play a bunch of cards and you just discard a lot of your deck, those cards were pretty worthless at that point because there's still an 8/8 punching them. But this one is a 5/5 that if you punch them, even an aggressive deck, I really do not see this being that good. It's a 4 mana 5/5 doesn't do enough in my opinion to justify that really big drawback. If it was 2 cards, yes. If it was only 2 cards you can you can use this properly, but nah. Let me see. If you card Enchanter, 3-1/5, your end of turn effects trigger twice. You wanna use this as like a value card of like the new cards that will be showing you immediately, like have like this recurrent value, like have more value out of your end of turn card to justify the bonus value from the 3-1/5 that has to be killed. This is a gigantic threat. This and the other minion, they're gonna both be a gigantic threat for your opponents to kill. Must be quite like, which one do you kill? And the one card you get from the okay. I'm having such a good time. Both of them are gonna be a lot of really big threats, and the value that you get from another turn deck will justify the 3-1/5 body. And I think this card is really good. You can see some really cool combos. Death Axe Punisher, 4-mana 3/3, battle for random lifesteal minion in your hand, +2/+2. A little bit more hand buff, I like that. It can buff your lifesteal minions. It's gonna be pretty interesting to like, because if your lifesteal minion has more attack, means it heals you for more. This is gonna be pretty useful to like a mid-range deck where you can like maybe protect that one minion, just get a really huge lifesteal minion. If you lost the early game, and then you just have like really big, even if it gets one buff, it's a 4-mana 5/5 that has +2 health pretty much. I think this card is just really good. Furnace Fire Colossus, 6-mana 6/6, discard all weapons from your hand and gain their stats. This could get hard to move and it's gonna blow dick, but in some cases you just have way too many weapons. It's just like, so have a weapon, you attack with it, have like 3 weapons in your hand. Sometimes it happens. Or maybe you just have 2 weapons, so you play one of your weapons, you can attack with it, you have 2 turns, you play the Furnace Fire Colossus, discard the other one, because you're not going to make use of it, right? It's gonna be like 1, 2, in 3 turns, you're gonna be able to make use of it. The 3rd turn, right? Make use of that other weapon. You can like discard it to gain a massive tempo play. Could be useful. Depends, right? Arthas, 4-mana 2/2, add a run a Death Knight card to your hand. Actually, are the Death Knight cards down here? Ah, here they are. It's a 4-mana 2/2, a beast. I think it's a beast. You get all these. You have Death and Decay, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Good, really good card. Army of the Dead, remove the top 5 cards from your deck, summon any minions removed. This could pretty much draw 5 and play all and just summon all the minions. So if you have battle card minions, it's gonna be kind of a waste. You need to have some pretty high. I think this is the worst one out of all of them, besides Doom Pack. But can be like a massive tempo play that your opponents can deal with. Death Grip. Steal a minion from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. This card is amazing. It's a card advantage. You can get something really cool. I really like it. Doom Pack. Destroy all minions. Destroy your minions. Remove the top card from your deck for each minion destroyed. I think this one is also garbage, but it's still playable at the very least. Frostmourne. 7-mana 5/3, summon every minion killed by this weapon. This card is amazing. It's so much tempo. It gives all the classes a weapon. You can even punch the motherfucker in the face if you want it. It has like really good. Even if they like destroy it, you use it, you kill something, they destroy your weapon, you still get a minion back. Good. Deathcoil, 2-mana, deal 5 damage to an enemy. Already really good. Will restore 5 health to a friendly character. Really good. Oh, like, or these 4 are amazing. Obliterate, destroy a minion, your hero takes damage equal to itself. So you can like just a 2-mana removal, instant removal of anything. Has high attack, lower health. It's better than like a low attack, high health minion. Still pretty decent. Have anti-magic shell, 4-mana, give your minions +2/+2 and can be targeted by spells or hero bond. If you have a board, this makes you pretty much you're gonna win. It's because +2/+2 and then you can't remove it by targeted spells. Pretty good. So Arthas, a 4-mana 2/2 that can give you one of the best cards in the game. I think you'll play that. I think you might slap that in every deck. Have the Lich King, an 8-mana 8/8 taunt. Alright, really good. At the end of your turn, add the Ren Death Knight card to your hand. Have an 8 mana 8/8 taunt, gives you an overpowered card, and if you don't kill it, gives you more overpowered cards. The Lich King is an amazing card, and I really don't need to tell you more that this card is just amazing. Also, Arthas, that's really hilarious. So those are all the neutrals. Let's start with Warrior, I guess, since we're here. Animated Berserker, 1 mana 1/3. After you play a minion, deal 1 damage to it. A 1 mana 1/3 stat line makes it pretty resilient. You can play it on turn 1 and can curve it on a money. Becomes a 2 mana 5/2. That's a good card. You can curve into. Let's actually look some in rage card. In rage. Have Bluff of Brace, becomes a 4 mana 5/5 with 4 mana 5/5 with taunt. That's really good. Play it with Chromash. It's 8 mana 10/8 with charge. That's an instant burst. Pretty good. 2 mana 5/2. 3 mana 4/2 Wind Fury. It's bad. Gets a 4 mana 5/4. Meh. You can buff your weapon. Take damage. Effects like Acolyte of Pain. Effects like Acolyte of Pain can curve after the money, which is a really big trade. You can draw a card instantly. Stuff like this card. So I think Animated Berserker is a really good card, so you don't have to use Whirlwind, right? At the time you use Whirlwind, you damage your minions, your other minions. Sometimes you just maybe deal 1 damage to an enemy and doesn't do much. This is a really good card. Forge of Souls, 2 mana, draw 2 weapons from your deck. This card is pretty good. I think this will be like a one-off in like almost all warrior decks. In a like an aggressive deck, in like a mid-range deck, in like a maybe even a control deck. Get 2 weapons, guarantee you have removal in your hand all the time. It's 2 mana, draw 2 cards. Warrior wants more draw cards, and this is just pure draw cards. You have the removal. Really good card. You can play it across even the aggressive decks. Blood Razor, 4 mana 2/2, Battle Cry, and Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to 1 minion. This card is really good. So it's pretty much you AoE the board, you deal pretty much 3 damage to a minion that you want, and you can do again. You deal another 3 damage to a minion that you want, and 1 to the rest. You can use it to combos. You can with your own minions. And it's really good board control. I think this card is just really good, and it's gonna help Warrior Arena quite a lot. These 2 cards, Warrior Arena and the Berserker, to some extent, are gonna make it really good. A Valkyrie Soulcrim, a 3 mana 1/4. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon 2/2 ghoul. We play with the Berserker. It's a mana 3 mana 1/4 that summons a 2/2 ghoul. If the Berserker survives, which it should by turn 3, it should not die if you play like an Amani, especially like a mid-range tempo deck. Have the Soul Claimer. So you're gonna spawn a 2/2 ghoul, but can you spawn another 2/2 ghoul? If you can spawn another ghoul, yes, this card is good. If you can't, it's very mediocre. In Arena, I think it's gonna be garbage most time, although it does have 4 health, so it probably might survive a hit. Yeah, it's kinda hard to get the second goal, to be honest. Depends how hard it is to get the second goal. If it's not hard to get the second goal, then yeah, it's a good card. If not, it's very mediocre. Mountain Fire Weapon Armor. 3 mana 4/3, if your opponent's turn gains 6 armor. So this stat line, as we've seen, works great on aggressive minions, but becomes hard to use on non-aggressive minions. Although this is actually an aggressive minion, it's a 3 mana 4/3, but its effect is not aggressive, which is so odd. So the thing is, you play in like a control versus control, you just play the Mountain Fire Weapon, your opponent like, I don't want to give you 6 armor, then you punch them in the face, and use your weapon as removal. The opponent's like, I don't want to give you armor, you punch them in the face. Again, you're like, oh shit, I took 8 damage, I guess I'll kill it. And you gain 6 armor, and deal like 8 damage. If it's a control deck, dealing 8 damage is really good, so it's a 3 mana 4/3, and you just punch your opponent in the face, till they're like, alright, fine, I'll give you the fucking armor. In aggressive matchups, you just play the Mountain Fire Armor, if it's like a zoo that are gonna kill it because oh yeah, good trades and get a 6 armor. If you're like against an aggressive deck, you just maybe kill like a 2 attack minion, and the monster you just punch them more in the face. Like alright, well I have my other things to remove your stuff. Have this thing punching you in the face repeatedly. And at some point you want to use your weapons or your spells or removal, you're gonna give me the armor anyways. It's a really good card. Death Revenant, 5 mana, 3 gain +1/+1 for each damage minion. This is more like the skeletons, but better. 5 mana 3D, so you need to have 3 minions that are hit. So it's a 5 mana 6/6 if 3 minions are hit. That's pretty usual to be honest. Like, that many minions are damage in like a more mid-range deck of yours. For the damaging effect, you can make this a 5 mana 6/6 pretty easily. And if you can the 5 mana 6/6 effect real easily, unlike the skeleton which you have to trade 4 minions have to die just to get the 4 mana 5/5, is you only have to have 3 damage minions in total to get the 5 mana 6/6. Even a 5 mana 5/5 is okay, right? To get the 5 mana 6/6 it's really easy. Then from there, like 5 mana 7/7, it's a bit harder but still doable. If you can get that consistently, it's a pretty good card. Dead Man's Hand, 2 mana, shuffle a copy of your hand into your deck. You kind of want to wait till you get some some legendaries to your hand, maybe another Dead Man's Hand, like a couple of removal. You put everything back into your deck, so you make sure you win the control, especially against like priests like Archbishop Benedictus to you. Wait for Benedictus, you're like, alright, 2 Dead Man Hands, put that shit back, you go infinite, get a lot of value, games last 50 fucking 50 rounds, and then both of you die. Really good control card, garbage against aggressive decks and mid-range aggressive decks. Bring it on, 2 mana, gain 10 armor, reduce the cost of your minions in your opponent's hand by 2. You get 2 mana for 10, so you can play Bring It On, and then you can do like double shield block, not shield block, shield slam, kills everything, right? Their opponent's like, alright, I have a bunch of minions, they play a lot of minions, and you brawl because you baited them. That won't happen that often, let me be honest. So I think just because you kind of have to play against a dummy, and sometimes you reduce something like a Sorcerer's Apprentice against like a mage, or like an Exodia mage gain 10 armor, it's like, oh, I should have not done that, and you lose a game because you didn't realize you should not do that. Yeah. So mediocre card to be honest. In arena is bad. In constructed has some possibilities. Scourge Lord Garrosh, 8 mana, equip a 4/3 Shadowmourne that also damages adjacent minions and 5 armor. So the Shadowmourne, if you get 1 attack, it's like your Flame Strike once, right? The Flame Strike about to take the damage, but you also have the 5 armor, and you're also worried. So by that point, you gain some armor and control the board. And you still have the weapon, so even if you get the weapon gets removed, it's still a good card that gives you the hero power. You pretty much Blaze Storm, you deal 1 damage. You get a Whirlwind on your hero power whenever you want. Whenever like your opponent is like 2 minions, alright, Whirlwind, they are damaged, have like no minions, you Whirlwind them, you play your minions, right? There's a way you can also activate in rages whenever one can like play Gromage, Blaze Storm, do the burst instantly. So having that hero power can use it every single turn is gonna kill their minions at some point. Even when they have smart trades, just constantly dealing 1 damage is gonna break them. And having the weapon to like, oh, 5 attack minion, alright, 5, I guess I'll attack that, kill the other 2s, use Blaze Storm, finish it off. Just a really solid death ride. Frostface, none of these minions survive damage, summon a random legendary. Works with Animated Berserker, with Blood Razor, with Blaze Storm for Scourge Lord Garrosh. These 2 cards work really well hand in hand because you can constantly gain that thing. So I think it's, the way they think things that they have pushed here with this set is a more it's a more mid-range to control. With Rotface, this never stops. With Blood Modifier Web Armor, this is just a really good card overall. Just like combo, just a really good card overall. And don't think this is gonna fit with these. Be some in other decks. but with these cards that they've put, there's a lot of like mid-range to late game decks that can make. I really like it for Warrior. For how long have we been going? 30 minutes only. My god, my throat is so fucking sore. Because I keep talking. Usually my videos, I don't talk all this much. Because maybe get the cutscene or dialogue. Maybe I get annoyed and I shut the fuck up. Warlock. Ah, this is really interesting. Sanguine Reveler, 1 mana, 1/1, destroy a friendly minion in game +2/+2. Even if you kill like a possessed villager, is a 1 mana 2/2, which is already good enough, right? 1 mana 2/2 is good, we know that. If you can kill eggs, you can like go turn 1 egg, Sanguine Revel the egg, you draw a card, it's a 1 mana 3/3, 1 mana 3/3, draw a card for 2 cards, so 2 mana 3/3, draw a card for 2 cards, and that's only this case. Seems really good. You can also get the Devil Sword Egg, right? That's also good. It's just a really good aggressive card. Drain Soul, 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 2 damage to a minion. The Warlock finally has another 2-drop removal spell because they missed Dark Bomb for a really long time. There are a lot of 2 health minions, so this is gonna do the job just almost as well as Dark Bomb, right? But just have the lifesteal. And it's really important because you can spell damage this. Like the 6 mana 4/4/2 spell damage, you play that, you know, Drain Soul is 4 damage and get healed for 4 for only 2 mana. That's really good. It's a really decent card. I guarantee it's guaranteed it's gonna see start play. Howl Fiend, 3 mana 3/6, whenever this minion takes damage, discard a random card. Demon. It's again another really high, like you play this, you're up, alright, let me kill it. 3/2 plus another 3/2, and then fucking suddenly, like you, oh my god, alright, you're going a bit too ham. A bit too ham, sorry. And then suddenly, like two silver red golems appear, or like both the hits hit the Clash Mother, and becomes a 2 mana 6/6. So it can be so high rolly instead of 3 mana 3/6. Or you can treachery it and fuck with your opponent, which is awesome. I love those things. Can destroy their hope in life. Love it. Also, I can fuck you over and discard literally everything but those cards, just because that's how motherfucking discard works. Yes. So, really high rolly. I don't really like it, to be honest. Defile, 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions if any die casts. Yeah, I love this card just because from watching the stream last night I was like, alright, so I give you this card. Maybe I also play this card so it dies, so then it gets another effect, but then that one doesn't die, so let me hit it. It's so much math, but if you play it properly, it destroys your opponent's board. And it can give you like a random egg that appears. I think this card is awesome, right? I think if you're a good player, this card is gonna be amazing. Unwilling Sacrifice, 3 mana to a friendly minion, destroy it and a random enemy minion. It's like Deadly Shot, but worse if you destroy something that's bad. Even if you destroy 1/1, it's worse than Deadly Shot. So, although Warlock doesn't have good removal, like even though Warlock has that, like Warlock has been like Corrupting Mist, Soulfire, Corruption, what? I have Shadow Bolt, which is like 3 mana 4, Drain Life, bad. Gonna have the next one, good. Blasphemous Potion, good, but you only play this in the late game. So Warlock's removal has been kind of meh, right? So if you can use like a random 6 mana, you can lose some random 1/1 garbage. Oopsie. Then this is gonna be pretty good. Or again, an egg, right? You see how I keep talking? Can I see 0 attack? Don't that say what attack? Oh yeah, fuck. Still nope. I guess I'll just say egg. That works better. Have like garbage like this that gives you like 1/1 raptors. You have like the 4 mana, 2 force points, you 2 skeletons, can use Thomas Fodder. Then these cards are gonna become really strong in Warlock. Just to play them to like just to get rid of them. It's really good. A worse deadly shot, but just because it's Warlock, you might make some use of it. Despicable Dreadlord. What? Look at this card. 5 mana, 4/5. Alright, so for 1 mana, you get the demon tag, and you get an arcane explosion at every single end of turn. This card is amazing. It's gonna make a really strong late game Warlock, a good like tempo-ish like mid-range Warlock, maybe even a Zoo Warlock, right? Permanent gives +1/+1 to your minions attack. This card is just really good. It's gonna help Warlock in Arena quite a lot. Like this, and this gonna help Warlock Arena quite a lot. It's a really good card. Non-Faratu 2 mana 2/3 removes the top card of your opponent's deck. This is just a really gimmicky card, but it's a 2 mana 2/3. And if you're going for like a late game versus late game, you could play it. Even though have like Dead Man's Hand and other stuff, it's pretty much a 2 mana 2/3. Kill one of your opponent's cards that you can play early game. So it does have some uses. It's a 2 mana 2/3 that kills the card pretty much, which is pretty good to be honest. Makes them fatigue faster, and even if they Dead Man's Hand, maybe they lost something useful that they would have actually drawn, right? So decent card to be honest. Treachery. Choose a friendly minion, give it to your opponent. So if you play this with Doomsayer, it's a 2 cost, 5 cost, 2 cards, clear everything. Oh fuck, sorry. Burps. Good. Now what else can you do with it? You give them the Rattling Rascal. You can give them like a Tickling Abomination after you got hit. So you have to, if you can use it more in the same deck, with more than just a Doomsayer, then it's a good card. If you can't, meh. It's really meh then, because it only has 1 combo, right? Have to be pretty smart with this card. I love it to be honest. Blood Queen Lantern, 5 mana 1/6, life that has +1 attack for each card you discard this game. Meh. It's a pretty decent card. A 5 mana 5/6 with lifesteal is really strong. A 5 mana 4/6 with lifesteal is strong. It's gonna be good in like a Zoo discard. And sometimes the Zoo discard, just because they tap a lot, they actually need the health. If they're against a more aggressive deck than they are, they can actually use the Blood Queen Lantern to come back into the game. Like against Pirate Warriors, sometimes you lose quite a lot, to be honest. Zoo. If you have like a lifesteal card, you can just keep getting health. It's really good. If you discard this card, you're gonna cry yourself to sleep. But hey, that's this card, so it's an okay card to be honest. Blood River Gul'dan, 10 mana, summon all friendly demons that died this game. So things that you want to summon: Despicable Dreadlord, that's one of them. Voidwalkers, Lakari Fellhounds, but you might discard Blood River Gul'dan. Toomgar, but you might discard Gul'dan. Right, so you have this. Although you just can get like some values, just maybe play Void or get like a 3/3, get like Great Infernal, like a Beastly Enforcer. Maybe just get a couple of those, maybe get like 2 Voidwalkers, 1 Makazari. So you have to get a Taunt at least, and maybe a Doomguard, maybe. But if you get enough Voidwalkers, I think it's good enough. You just get like massive tempo on the board, like 10 mana, you fill the board like an Azov effect. Also get, instead of getting a 5/7, a Deathrattle minions, you get demons, get a 5 armor, and get the hero power, which is 2 mana, deal 3 damage, lifesteal, which is amazing. It's pretty much the hero power from the Druid Death Knight when they have Fan Drop pretty much, and you don't even have to attack. This hero power is the best out of the set. It's the most broken one. You just gain so much health back. You just deal 3 damage. The hero power is completely it's broken. Have a really good effect. All this costs 10 mana. You have to find a cheeky way to play good demons without you discarding shit. It's gonna be pretty difficult. Or if you can manage it, it's gonna be good. Like 2 Despicable Dreadlords, you play that, and you deal 2 damage to their board. Awesome! So we did 2 of them, plus the remaining neutrals. On time, 4 teams actually be moving a lot faster. Good. Let's go with Shaman. Ice Fishing. 2 mana, draw 2 Morlocks from your deck. You can just play in deck that has like some only really strong Morlocks. And it's like 2 mana, draw like 2 strong cards that work really well with each other. You can play in Morlock decks because sometimes don't have the steam. Sometimes even if you play quests you run out of a Morlock, so you need more Morlocks, you need Ice Fishing to draw it more. It's really good strong card, like the Forge of Souls, the other card, pretty good strong card. Warlock, 2 mana 2/2, Warlock freeze enemy minion. I think this is better than the Glacier Charge, just because that's a 1 mana 2/1. Just because it has 1 health makes the card bad. It's not bad, it's also an elemental, but you don't use it for elemental synergy, let's be honest. You use it late in the game where you also play another elemental at the same time. So I might as well have a 2/2 as a Murloc, can freeze like a card that could kill your 1 mana 2/1, the 1 mana Murloc, if I can quickly find it. The Murloc Tricolor, can play the Murloc Tricolor, they play a card, like, alright, I can't kill it, so you Burlock it, this becomes a 2/2, you hit face, and since that minion is frozen, I have to play something else, then you can buff your, you can go like Seer, use the Burlock, kill that card, and you can snowball out of control. Just because it's a Murloc, this makes a way better card than the Glacier Shard. Right, a 2 mana 2/2 Murloc frees the enemy, it's really good. Also has pure synergy with the other cards in Shaman, to make for like some stalling and gaining you some value. I think it's a really good card. Dracari Defender, 3 mana 2/8 Taunt. Alright, so has the Dreadlord stats. Instead of giving them a minion, which sometimes was good for you because you fatigue them faster and pull out a good card for you. Sorry. So instead of doing that, sometimes you lose the game instantly. So there was a really high rolly card that made it precious because they could deal even if their roll was really bad, right? But Dracari Defender is just a 2 mana 2/8 Overlord 3. Although, so you play that on 3. I don't think you played that on 3 ever. This is All Gods. You can do like Eternal Sentinel. You play the Dracari Defender, it's a 3 mana 2/8 that overlords you. You play the Eternal Sentinel and just get rid of that overlord. So just play a 3 mana 2/8 and the 2 mana 3/2. And there, the 3 mana 2/8 has Taunt. It's really good, especially if you can maybe get like, maybe do some more stuff with Overload. Maybe you play some like Feral Spirits with Dracari Defender and like an Eternal Sentinel or like 8. Get like a massive board advantage. You get 2 2/3s with Taunt, a 2/8 with Taunt, and a 3/2. And next turn you have full mana. Then this card might actually see a comeback, especially with the other cards. So if you sometimes the overall might be just a bit too much. If it's a lot of aggro, this card is gonna demolish them. But you need to use the Sentinel to combo. It's an okay card. Icebreaker, 3 mana 1/3, destroy any frozen minion damaged by this. The reveal stream was pretty decent card, to be honest. You can use it with Warlock to kill something immediately. And I know you're gonna take a lot of damage, so you're gonna play the deck with like some pretty good defense measures like Voodoo Hexers and Dracari Defenders and stuff like that, and like a lot of heal in Shaman. The Machine Water Speaker and the Hot Spring Guardian, maybe even a Tidal Surge. To gain the health back, you use your Icebreaker to get amazing value out of. So we've seen you have like Avalanche, so let's go to Avalanche. So you have freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to adjacent one. So it's like a big minion, you freeze the big minion, have the 3 damage on the side, which 3 damage on the side, like as from we know from Meteor, is gonna kill the side a lot of the time. You kill the two things on the side, or like heavily damage at least one of them. It's the Icebreaker on the minion that got frozen. because that thing didn't take any damage, which that's what you want to get as much value to the icebreaker. Kill that with the icebreaker, the other thing already got damage. So like this combo, icebreaker does synergize really well with all the cards considered. I think a free Shaman deck can be quite a big card possibility. Have Avalanche, if you don't even need to icebreaker, you can kill two things on the side, freeze a big minion. Already really good value. You get some stall and you clear some board. Awesome. I think it's a pretty good card. Depends if the other wave clear is better than Avalanche, we'll see. Voodoo Hexer, 5 mana 2/7 taunt, freeze any character damaged by this one. It's a really good card. It's a 5 mana 2/7 with taunt that freezes everything attack. You can just freeze the enemy hero just like a water elemental. Water elemental is such an annoying card. It's gonna be the same. It also has taunt, so like even like something big attacks into it's like, oh, one shot can leverage that by using icebreaker. It's gonna kill a lot of like small if you use a lot of small minions so they get frozen, they die. It's still really good. It's a really good card. Cryostasis. Give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. So as we've seen, you can actually play a totem. No, you can have like the 1/1 totem. It can attack. You cryostasis it, and it becomes a 4/4. And then you can attack. You can attack with it next turn. You can also freeze like an enemy minion and then use the icebreaker on it, but it'd be kind of bad. Then like have the Voodoo Hexer. Like, alright, well, the enemy hero is it's a mage. Mages don't have weapons. Alright, so if mages don't have weapons, I really don't need to freeze mage, only deal 2 damage. So you can cryostasis the Voodoo Hexer, becomes a 5/10, and then it gets unfrozen immediately because that's how freeze work. So next turn you have a 5 mana 5/10 that can freeze stuff. You know, have like a taunt totem. Play a taunt totem. Alright, you cryostasis it, becomes a 3/5 with taunt. And it's frozen. I think if you totem cryostasis, the totem can attack in 2 turns, but you just made those Senjin. This card has a lot of flexibility, and that's just for that fact. I think it's gonna be a pretty decent card to do in your freeze deck. Snow Fury Giant, an 11 drop. What? It looks so weird to have like a giant that's 11. Cost 1 less for each mana crystal you've overloaded this game, so 8 mana 8/8 elemental. This is to leverage stuff like Drakari Defenders, Feral Spirits that you use in an early game to like get like your tempo, and you lost it, but the tempo that you lost, you just slap like a free 8/8, works great with Ancestral Spirit, and also works great with Spirit Echo. And of course, it's gonna work great with the Eternal Sentinel. You can actually get rid of that pesky overload, so you pretty much get huge tempo early game. You don't lose any later on tempo, so you can do like a fire elemental and just maybe play like a Snow Fury Giant that costs like 3 mana or 4 mana on the same turn. That's really strong. Get like even more tempo, so you can high roll the fuck with your opponent overload. Good card. Troll Deathyear, 5 mana Death Knight, the cheapest one. Nice. Have a 5 mana, a 6 mana, a 7 mana, and there's the rest are 8, 9, and 1, 10. Is there only that 7 mana? Okay, so look. So transform your minions into random ones that cost 2 more. It's double evolves. You can on turn 10 you can, even if you like don't need to, I can play like a 2-drop and it becomes a 4-drop on the same turn. Play Troll Deathyear. You can play the Gang, the 4 mana 2/3 with Troll Deathyear, and become random 6-drops. And we know 6-drops are kind of really good for some reason. So this is like huge stats. Like the Battle Cry and the 5 armor, it's already worth a card. But you also get the added benefits that you get the trans, which is 2 mana, evolve something. Which is really strong. You're like, alright, well, let me just play this card. It got hit, then you evolve it. Even if it doesn't become, if you have like a 6/7, it hits something, it's a 6/3, you evolve it, it still becomes a 6/7, you still healed it for 4. And it has higher cost, so the next one's become even bigger. So with Troll, this is gonna be pretty usual to get 8/8s, to be honest, out of your evolve. You like my background? I love this background. Still a Warcraft nerd. Then this card, it's just a really strong Death Knight. I don't know if it's gonna work with the freeze deck. It actually might. If you have like a Drakar Defender, it's like 2 or 3 health. But at that point, you might as well make it bigger, like evolve it. Murabi. 6 mana 4/4. Whenever another minion is thrown, add a copy of it to your hand. This is like I can like play Murabi. You instantly go like avalanche. You stall. You kill 2 minions. You get a copy of the minion that you froze. You play Murabi. You cryostasis. You have like a Voodoo Hexer. You attack with the Voodoo Hexer in something. You freeze it. Right? You get that card. When you cryostasis the Voodoo Hexer, you get it. You can use the Icebreaker that you had to kill something. You got a Voodoo Hexer. You got like the card that you froze Voodoo with that Voodoo Hexer itself. You can also Warlock something else, get even more value. This thing is gonna snowball out of control, but you can keep getting cards like Voodoo Hexer that freeze, right? You know, like you have like a bunch of freeze effect. You can just use Murabi. You can even play the 1 mana deal 1 damage and freeze. Just because you play Murabi, you deal that, you play a Warlock, maybe deal that again. You get a lot of value out of it with Murabi, Murabi is just a really good card to like generate a lot of value. I like the card. Even though it's a 6 mana for a 4/4, easily kill, it does provide a lot of value. So we have an 8 drop, a 10 drop, a 5 drop, a 9 drop, 8 drop, 9 drop, 9 drop, 6 drop, 7 drop. So I have 1 on 5, 1 on 6, 1 on 7, 1 on 8, 3 at 9, 2 on 8, 3 on 9, and 1 at 10. Alright, so that's Shaman done. Okay, 52 minutes. I think I can maybe pull another one off. So what we have here, so I have Rogue left. We did Priest. So I have Rogue, Paladin, Hunter, and Druid left. I have 4 classes left to go. Alright, so this video I did Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior plus Neutrons. I think I'll just leave it at that, as I'm gonna make another video anyways because I have 4 fucking more classes. I'll take a quick break and then start recording the next review. So I have one review today at well, Dance Tower. Anyways, never mind. Today at 6. That's Romanian time. I don't know what time. At 6, and then tomorrow on the 9th, I have the other card review at 9 as well. So we can prepare for the 10th when the card reveal is there. And the expansion comes out. Probably is on it's Europe, so I won't get it until later on. But just because I think I might stay like to like 1 PM, 2 PM until it gets released. To be honest, I don't really want it, but the next like the next Hearthstone VOD unpacking is gonna be on the 11th at 6 o'clock most likely. And I have none of those days. I have something else in the morning, like some other series. Should probably be finishing the Darkest Dungeon series. Fucking finally, keep forgetting to upload it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next card review.